Hey guys, it's Richard at altFINS with a market update. Today I want to review some patterns and trading patterns, particularly the high success rates patterns like head and shoulders, inverse head and shoulders, and a few others. But before I do that, let me mention that if you're serious about making money trading altcoins, please check out our trading education curriculum, which includes 10 webinar lessons complete with notes, where we teach 7 trading strategies that you can use on the altFINS platform directly. And these lessons are basically real trading sessions. So in the last video we had a couple of days ago or 3 days ago, we talked about how the market had rebounded significantly from very oversold levels, had made maybe 30-50% advance, and basically reached certain resistance areas where traders were starting to take profit and momentum was diminishing or fading. So we can see that, pretty solid in the Ethereum itself, pretty solid rebound from the lows of 2200 or so to as high as 3200. I mean, that's a swing of almost 50%. Now naturally we're gonna see a pullback, some profit taking. So we can see that momentum, as indicated by the MACD line and MACD signal line, as well as the MACD histogram, had inflected around here. The histogram began to decline, and so we are still in a sort of a momentum fading phase. Now the other thing I'll mention, however, that in most cases, the upswing or the bounce did not result in a higher high, which is really necessary for us to get some conviction that this is a beginning of a new uptrend or a trend reversal. For example, right here, as you can see, for Ethereum, the high on the upswing around here, 3200 or so, did not surpass the high in the prior upswing, right? In the prior buy upswing in momentum was higher than the latest one. So the latest one did not make a higher high, therefore, that's bearish. But there is silver lining or some hope in that if we now make a higher low, at least this downswing that we're seeing in momentum, if it stops higher than the prior low, that could be the beginning indication of a beginning in trend reversal, right? So would love to see the momentum fading, but fade for a little longer, but quickly rebound again, with price now hopefully exceeding the latest high, right? Going above the 3200 and making a higher high. So that would be a really bullish. So to begin with, we would like to see the prices establish a higher low. And that goes across the board. If you look at Binance, similar situation, still in a downtrend across all 3 horizons, right? And the last upswing did not make a higher high, right? In fact, we've seen a series of lower highs and lower lows. In fact, I think we talk about that in our curated chart here as well. Clear down trend line with lower highs consistently. So no wonder that our rating system is indicating a downtrend. Having said that, it would be nice or bullish if the price were able to hold around the $400 level and bounce back up above the recent high and make a higher high. That would be bullish, very bullish, beginning of an uptrend potentially. For some coins like XRP, Ripple, we've seen more bullish action and actually a recent higher high, right? This was the previous high. This is the most recent high, which is a higher high, clearly very bullish. And I think that after this pullback, this would be an interesting buying opportunity for this potential emerging trend reversal. All right, let's take a look at actually in the last video we also oh, by the way, there's another I wanted to highlight, which is crypto.com. All right, this one didn't quite make a higher high, I'd say. So this one is also one of those cases where, although it is in an uptrend, so it's in a better shape because it is above the 200-day moving average, which is probably why our rating system gives it an uptrend. So this pullback could actually, especially if it pulls back near the 40 cents or the 200-day moving average, that could be a nice swing entry area for this one. But clearly there are still, even in the down market that we are in, coins that are generally in an uptrend, or at least on the short-term basis in an uptrend. You can quickly check that out on the trend tab here, scroll down, or even create a filter for that, or go to signal summary and find coins that are still in an uptrend. But what I wanted to also demonstrate are some patterns. This is a pretty unique feature for altFINS platform, where the system tries to recognize certain trading patterns, common trading patterns like wedges, channels, resistance, or support, resistance and support level breakouts, and we have a number of other patterns that the system recognizes. And now most of the coins are currently in a downtrend, so not surprisingly our system doesn't have a whole lot of buy signals at the moment. Most of the signals will be sell signals right here, right? You can filter for all the sell signals. Now the other thing that we did last time, we talked about shorting Solana. So after the bounce, the momentum was fading, so we looked at potential patterns here. And these, if you look at these empty candles, these are basically 3 days since the signal, and they do appear so far in that direction of anticipated price direction. So it's trading in the channel down, as is indicated here in the description of the pattern, and it was identified 3 days ago, as I mentioned, this pattern, which is indicated here when we talked about it 3 days ago. And so far the price appears to be headed in that direction, meaning lower. Similarly for Cardano, another one that is trading in the channel down, also bounced back with the rest of the market, but faded, the momentum faded, and the system is indicating that it's likely to revisit the lower, meaning the support trend line, somewhere around 70 cents. So we see some red empty candles. These are basically the last 3 days of action. Since the signal was issued 3 days ago, the price has been trending down. So obviously these patterns will never always be right. There is a certain percentage success rate associated with these patterns on a historical basis. Most patterns have success rate between 60 to 70, 75%. So there's going to be a lot of failures, 30 to 40% of the time. But if you do these trades consistently with small size and consistency, these should result in positive results for you. Now, having said that, some patterns have higher success rate than others. So let's look at that. You can actually, in our knowledge base, find an article that talks about trading patterns and talks about the success rate, the historical success rate of certain patterns. So if you scroll down in this article, to somewhere in the midsection here, right here, we talk about how certain patterns have historically, we're talking last 6 to 9 months, had a certain hit rate. Well, inverse head and shoulders is a bullish trading pattern that has one of the highest hit rates. So when you see an inverse head and shoulder pattern on our system, go for it. In my opinion, of course, this is not financial advice and you should do your own homework and decisions, but it does, based on our system's track record, has some of the highest, if not the highest, success rate. And then the bearish version of that is the head and shoulders. Head and shoulders is a sell signal or a bearish pattern, also a very high hit rate. And then you have very plain patterns like horizontal resistance emerging, channel down, which we talked about with Solana and Cardano just now, horizontal resistance breakout. So reference this data in this table to help you with your decision making as to which trades you want to take. So back to our pattern here, I'm sorry, the pattern section of our website. If we're looking for inverse head and shoulders, if it's one of the highest hit rate patterns, then we can sort all the patterns that we have, and it is a rare pattern. So there's none on the one day or daily time interval, but we can see two of them potentially here on the 4-hour interval, 2 on a 1-hour time interval, and none on the 15-minute time interval. Another way to do this, by the way, is to go to Signal Summary, where we also summarize these patterns in the section Trading Patterns. So I talked about inverse head and shoulders. Here it is. So there's 2 on the 4-hour and 2 on the hourly time interval. On the other side, on the other hand, head and shoulders, which is a bearish pattern, if you wanted to short, okay, and we're indicating 4 coins have bearish head and shoulders pattern on a daily time interval. Let's check them out. So when you click on that, that will take you to the screener with these 4 patterns right here. So these are bearish ones. We could short these. Now some of these are a couple days old. So ideally we work with the ones that are very fresh, so issued either at the end of last day or maybe a couple of days ago. Here, this one is a day old, right? So far it's headed in the right direction as indicated by the red empty candle. So that was yesterday's price action. And also with this one, cream, another one, head and shoulders that's likely to go lower based on the historical trading pattern. So do leverage these patterns. Remember that you have to do lots of small trades to realize the historical statistics, because trading is about statistics. Don't ever bet the farm on one single trade or make really big trades. It's also psychologically helpful to have many trades, and if you do them consistently based on the historical statistics or probabilities, these should work out well. And of course, please do reference our knowledge base, which is quite extensive for all sort of trading strategies, whether it's trend trading strategies, swing trading strategies, range trading strategies. And not to mention, if this is all too much for you to understand at once, do check out the education webinars that we have, basically a trading education plan that I think will help you get up to speed. All right, everyone. Well, good luck trading. Again, this is not financial advice. Do your own homework, educate yourself, and good luck trading. Thank you.